Hello and welcome to the second video in the 401k control process overview series. By now you will have reviewed the action report and copied the information from the action report into the reallocation worksheet. In this video we're going to create your allocation plan. That consists of identifying the types of funds and the amount that you want to invest in each of those funds across various asset classes, favored categories, and sectors. Returning to the 401k control homepage, I will refer you to the reallocation process document where you will see some guidelines and some information presented about how to come up with your allocation plan. I've opened the reallocation process document and I've accessed Appendix D, Fund Selection Considerations. This is some best practices that you can use. As it states, it's provided for your education purposes only, and you need to determine which type or style of investing works best for you. But we do have some considerations that you can use here when deciding how much to invest in a particular fund and how many funds to possibly invest in. Again, I refer you to Appendix D of the reallocation process document. At this point, we have populated the reallocation worksheet with the favored category for each asset class and an approximate percentage that we would like to invest in each. Now I've gone ahead and applied the guidelines in the reallocation process document to the current percentages in the asset class and favored categories and have come up with the following suggestion, and again you will have to decide what works best for you. But here's one example. As you may recall, in the domestic equity asset class we are going to be allocating 75% of our portfolio. We suggest that you put a majority in the favored category, so 50% of the 75%, or approximately 38%, we're going to go ahead and put into the favored category. I've chosen to split that across two different funds just so that I don't have 38% in any one fund. So we're going to go back to the reallocation worksheet and we are going to just put some notes in here which we're going to use in the next video about fund selection. So favored category number 1, so we're going to do mid-cap value. For now we're just going to say choice number 1, and we're going to divide up that 38% across two funds. So let's say we want to put 19% in choice number 1 and 19% in choice number 2. Now notice a few things as I'm doing this. The total will be calculated for you and it will be shaded red as long as it is not equal to the target 75% that in this case we have for this asset class. There'll also be a grand total across the top which will show you how much of your 100% you still have remaining. So in this case we've only allocated 38%, giving us 62% left. Let's go back to our plan. The next thing we want to do is put 5% in each of the top two sectors. Again, you may decide to put some money in none or all or some combination of the sectors, but for our purposes we're going to put 5% in the top two. Since we've already entered what the top two are, we're going to go in here, Energy Fund 1, 5%, Financials Fund 1, 5%. Returning to our allocation plan, we've decided that we're going to put the remaining 27% of the 75% and spread that across two or more funds. So we'll go back up here, domestic equities choice, 13% there. You need 14% to get to 75. And we can go ahead and clear out the rest of the worksheet because these are the four funds that we're going to be looking to invest in across the domestic equities, mid-cap value, and others, totaling 75%. We've already decided that we're going to invest in the top two sectors, 5% each, so I'm going to clear out the remaining placeholders. And now let's move on to the next asset class, international. Since there's only 5% going in together, we're going to go ahead and put all of that into one fund out of the international favored category, which happens to be Europe developing. We're going to put that in there. We're going to put all 5% of the international and get rid of the other choices. Lastly, we'll repeat the same process for the fixed income, which has a total of 20%. We will decide to put 10% or half of that 20% in the favored category and the rest into a high-performing fixed income bond fund. We see that U.S. high yield is the highest, so we're going to go ahead and put that in here, 10%. And fixed income choice number 2, the other 10%, clearing out the remaining choices. There are no money market or cash choices, and there are no commodities choices. So what we now have is 100% of our total, which we can see here that we've allocated across 4 funds, 2 funds, a single fund, and 2 additional funds. The next step, which we'll cover in the next video, is deciding which funds we actually want to invest in. But we've now laid out our roadmap and we're ready to continue.